What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Y'all know me. I'm known for cranking out legendary NFL draft prospect interviews, and this one is another one, probably the best Division II prospect in this year's 2024 NFL draft. He comes from a small school but brings you big school talent, and he is ready for the big stage. Coming out of Pitt State, defensive back RICO Payton III, man. RICO, how you doing, man?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well. Just blessed to see another day. Appreciate that introduction. I agree with you.
Hey, man, you already know what it is, man. The tape you put out is dope, man. You're a ball hawk. Your pursuit is east-west. You're so fast, man. It's almost like you teleport, man. And I heard you had a pretty big pro day. Is that right?
Yes, sir. It went well. I was blessed to show my talent in front of a lot of teams, and just thank God for another day. Thank God that the work that I put in over those 6, 7, 8 weeks of training, it paid off for me.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome,
Yes,
man. Well, we're
sir.
gonna
Yes, sir.
get into your story today, man. Everything from the 14 pass deflections you had recently, this past season, to man when you first started playing football, man. So take us from the beginning, man. Where are you from, and when did you fall in love with the game?
Yes, sir. So I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I fell in love with the game at a young age. I started playing actual tackle football in 7th grade, but
Mhm.
before that, I just spent a lot of time with my step brother, who's older than me, just playing outside, playing against high school kids at a young age. Just always had that um, level of competition established in me.
Did you always play defensive back, or
Started in middle school, I was running back and safety. And then as
okay?
I got into high school, I kind of transitioned to the receiver, cornerback role, and I played running back as well in high school. So I was a guy that played a lot of positions. Offense was kind of my first love, and then I started having conversations with some coaches who said that everybody can play receiver, but you got to be a different breed to step onto that island and play corner. So that's what I decided to do.
Yeah, you know what they say, man. Defensive back, cornerback specifically, is the hardest position to play. The
Yes, sir. I
hardest.
agree with that. I say that mentally, it might be one of the easiest. You're either in man or zone or just fit into the defense, whatever scheme you're running. But physically, having a guard or receiver who's running full speed at you while you're going backwards, I feel like it's the hardest position for sure.
Definitely. Oh yeah. No, definitely, man. It's a lot, man. This you got to know a lot of different offenses, a lot of different packages, man. Pick up on their tendencies, or if they're running the ball,
Right,
you
right,
gotta
right.
have an offensive mind. So I think you playing running back and receiver definitely help, to make you the player you are today for sure, man.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree.
Definitely, man. What was your aha moment? What was your, or someone called it an epiphany, when you realized
Uh,
like, man, I'm not your average player, man. One day I could actually go pro.
Um, I would say I kind of had the dream for a while. Just once I started playing tackle in 7th grade, I always had it like in my head that I will be a pro someday. I will make it to the NFL. But senior year of high school, I had a successful season, all state, all metro, all those type of things. And just in college, I would say this last year, my senior year of college, just coming to practice, having a lot of teams coming to watch me, hearing my coaches tell me that um, they can see me playing at that level, and especially my head coach or my position coach, they've seen players that have made it to the next level, and they tell me that I'm just as good or even better than those players. So just a little few things that got me there.
Love it, man.
Yes,
And
sir.
what led you to Pitt State originally, man? Because it seems that there was a lot of eyes on you in high school. Why Pitt State?
Right. So originally, coming out of high school, I went to Southern Illinois University. So I
Oh,
spent
okay.
my red shirt there a year. I was recovering from a injury that I had. So I never touched the field at SIU. I just spent my time recovering. And then my assistant cornerback coach, Corey Lindsey, at
Mhm.
SIU, he went to Pitt State and I followed him. And since
Okay.
then, it was just a great fit for me.
Gotcha. As Coach
Yes,
Prime would
sir.
say,
Yes, sir.
he brought his luggage with him. So
Right, right, right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love it, man. Who are some players you model your game after, man?
So honestly, I would say I don't really model my game specifically after one player. I just like to take bits and pieces from each player's game. For
Yeah.
example, Jalen Ramsey, I love the way that he gets off of blocks and makes open
Yeah.
field tackles. And I just love his swag, how he plays, and his confidence that he plays with. Then I look at other players like AJ Terrell or Patrick Surtain. I love their technique that they play with. Trent
Mhm.
McDuffie for the Chiefs. I love
Yeah.
that he holds his leverage throughout the entire play. If he starts inside leverage, he finishes inside. And so I just take bits and pieces from people's game and try to just add it to my bag.
That's dope,
Yes,
man.
sir.
That's
Yes,
awesome,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
Who are some guys you hoping to play with on the next level, man, that you would love to be a part of that secondary?
Man, so many. I would say I would love, obviously, being part of the Chiefs secondary. Going to Pittsburgh State, the Chiefs only hour and a half away from us. So, being a
Mhm.
hometown hero, that would be kind of smooth.
Yeah.
On top of that, I would just say um, the Saints secondary, Tyrann Mathieu, Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
That would be a dream come true as well. Just a lot of different guys, even Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
I'd just be honored to play with whatever team and take game from the vets that they have.
Definitely, man. Absolutely,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir.
Let's talk about your game for a moment. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
You had was
Yep.
it 14 pass deflections. Did I see that correctly last year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, that's a big stat. Like 5, 6 pass deflections is pretty good. It's okay. It's like mid range, but you got 14, man. That's really good.
Right.
And
Right.
the top
Right.
guy in the draft, Quinion Mitchell, had 18. You're not far
Yeah.
behind that. There's not a whole lot of people I could say, who are at
Yeah.
14.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And even
That's
in my
dope.
situation, it was kind of. I'm just so blessed to be able to have that stat under my belt because I honestly wasn't getting targeted a lot throughout like the first 5, 6 games. My stats were. I was
Yeah.
kind of worried about them because I wasn't getting targeted. I wasn't getting thrown at, and then I don't know whatever happened to their coach, the other team's coach who thought it would be a good
Mhm.
idea to try me. I thank him for that. I thank him for that.
He probably was on the sideline. We're gonna throw it right down their throat.
Right, right.
It's like they messed around and they found out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's dope, man. As your success grew, man, was there ever any temptation to take and leave school earlier, or?
Um, Not necessarily. I would say there was a temptation to before my senior year, maybe transfer out of Pitt State and go back Division 1 just to showcase to the scouts that I can play at any level. I can play with those guys at
Mhm.
Division 1 as well. But ultimately, it was just a choice to. I was a captain this year as well, so I was a senior. I was a captain. I wanted to lead my guys. I wanted to keep that brotherhood that we established, and
Yeah,
just finish it out where I started.
I love it, man. You and I talked a little bit before, man, but what's a misconception that people have of Division 2 football players, man?
I would just say honestly, a lot of people look at Division 2 and think there's such a big drop off level from Division 1, and I would just say from being at both Division 1 and Division 2, the main difference is just the size of the lineman.
Yeah,
You go D1 and you got the 300 plus pounders, 6'7" guards. So and on top of that, I would just say Division 1 they just ultimately have more resources than us. There's going to be more guys with there's going to be more players at a Division 1 school who have a talent level who's up here, but you're going to find that same talent level at Division 2. There's going to be hidden gems. There's going to be less players, but you're going to find players who have that same talent. Like I consider myself.
I love it, man. I love it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I,
sir.
I agree. That's definitely fair, man. Shador Sanders, he had said that. He said, "Hey, when I went from Jackson State to Colorado, the biggest thing is the trenches. The trenches are much bigger.
Right, right, right,
You know what I
right.
mean? It's and I never played D1, but I played Division 2, man. And one thing I noticed is that there's a lot of guys, they were supposed to go to USC, but the grades were
Yeah,
terrible,
for sure, for sure. You
or they
you
got into
find
trouble
that.
off the field, and no D1 schools wanted them except for a D2.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Same type of situation at Pitt State. We have a bunch of I won't say just a bunch, but we have a few guys who are Division 1 bounce backs, or just even at my pro day talking to other kids who play for schools in my conference. They in the same situation. We had conversation where they had players who were from D1, or they transferred from Division 1 because of whatever, like you said, grades or outside situation. So there's
Yeah.
hidden gems at every level, and that's the NFL scouts' job to go find those guys.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Well,
Yes, sir.
where are you training at right now?
So right now I'm back at school. I just had my pro day last Friday, so I've
Yeah.
just been back at school training. But before that, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, training at RoPro Fitness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which
Very
was a
nice.
good experience for me, definitely.
Definitely, man. Yeah, and you crushed it, man. I saw. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, like a 40-inch vertical or something like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Whew.
sir.
Do you
Woo.
ever hoop in your free time or do any track
Yeah,
and field?
so
Or?
actually, as a freshman during
Mhm.
track and field, I already high jumped 6'5" as a freshman in high school, and I played basketball. I was starting as a sophomore on varsity, and I was dunking at an early age. I just kind of stopped playing basketball once I had my knee surgery, and just wanted to focus on football. Just take care of my body better.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yep,
man.
yep.
Now, last December, man, you were nominated for the Cliff Harris Award, man. That's
Yes,
as
sir.
as
Yes, sir.
that's presented to like the nation's top defender in Division II, man. That's a
Yep.
huge, bro. That's huge, man. What was it like to be nominated for that, man? How did that feel?
Just blessed. Just thank God for the notoriety. I thank
Yeah.
everybody who considered me for the award, and even being a finalist for the award. I thought they were going to give it to me, but
Mhm.
I was just blessed to be nominated, just to be a finalist, and just to have that recognition. It's always good.
That's dope, man. That's dope. You
Yes,
gonna
sir.
put
Yes,
on,
sir.
man. I really feel that you could be, if not even better than Cater Kohu of the Miami Dolphins. While his
Right.
school's D1 now, they weren't D2 when he was coming out of University of Texas Commerce. It was,
Okay.
and
Okay. Yeah.
he's going his third year in the NFL. He's a starter again, Division II guy, man. So it's so great to take and see people thrive, and it happens every year,
Yes,
But
sir. Yes, sir.
I want to take and say, man, this how are you handling everything, man? Do you feel like additional pressure? Because like, man, your RAS score was great, right?
Right.
You're
Right.
nominated. You're also nominated for that award, which is huge. That's like borderline the Heisman at Division II for defensive player.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, like what keeps you humble, man?
Just ultimately, I've been through a lot in my lifetime. I've
Mhm.
dealt with injuries. I've dealt with adversity to switching schools
Yeah.
throughout college. I had a different cornerbacks coach every year, so I've had 5 or 6 different position coaches. So
Wow.
just ultimately just keeping God first as well. I know I'm nothing without God, and I like to get my prayers in. I like to get my meditation in, which meditation for me keeps me at that balance. I don't really feel any pressure because I know all the work that I put in. It'd be different if it felt like a fluke to be here, if I know I didn't put in the work, or but I have. So that's what keeps me confident.
Man, I love that, man. I love that.
Yes,
You
sir.
mentioned
Yes,
God,
sir.
man. And any favorite scriptures you have?
So Proverbs 3, 5, 6. Uh,
Mhm.
do not lean on my own understanding, but I trust the Lord and what He has in store for me, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's one of my favorite scriptures.
Let me think. I could get that one right. It's lean not on your understanding, prayer, supplication, and thanksgiving. Let your request be known unto him. I butchered that, but we close.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we close enough. We close enough. God know we locked in with
Hey, Team Jesus all the way, brother. I'm right there with
Yes,
you,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Awesome. A lot of times, man, you mentioned teams were not even throwing to you, right?
Right,
Um,
right.
what like obviously that's a dope stat to have as well too. But sometimes
Yes, sir.
people
Yes, sir.
they just look at the tape and you're like, man, like they're just not throwing to this guy. It
Mm-hmm.
almost reminds me, and I don't know if you remember this player. Maybe I'm showing my age a little bit. Namdi Asamoah played for the
Sounds
Oakland Raiders.
familiar. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, sounds
He-
familiar.
Eagles tape. He got the bag, and Eagles didn't use him like he was used in Oakland, so it didn't quite work out there. But when he was in Oakland, dude, for like 2-3 years straight, he barely had any tackles. He barely had any interceptions, as teams were just not throwing his way. So,
Right, right. And my
um,
coaches did a good job of kind of keeping my head right with that because it was very frustrating. You want to be part of the game.
yeah,
You want to showcase I can pick off anything. I can make all these tackles and I
mhm,
can help my team. But ultimately, when a team is not trying you, when they're not running your way or
mhm.
throwing your way, you're taking away that side of the field. So You
Yeah.
just have to be a team player and know that what I'm doing is helping out my defense tremendously, and
Yeah.
just doing a good job of, um, keeping your teammates' head right, or being the ultimate team player, letting
Yeah.
them make their plays as well, and just winning is everything. So that's what we did.
Absolutely, man. Are there any favorite defensive teams that you have? Because you mentioned, like, man, you switch
Right.
defensive backs coach every single year. That's very difficult for a lot of players. Because
Yes,
you
sir.
know,
Yes, sir.
is there a scheme that you have that's your favorite that you feel makes your skills pop a little more? Do you have a preference?
Um, just I feel like I can play in any scheme. I feel like I can. I'm not just a man corner, or I'm not just a zone corner, but I prefer to be in press man a lot of the times. That's probably my favorite coverage. So I would like to go to a
Mhm.
team that plays a lot of man coverage. But
Yeah.
like I said, I have the ability to adapt to whatever scheme a defensive coordinator wants to run, because I've had multiple defensive coordinators as well, multiple cornerbacks coaches who taught me. Like I said earlier about taking parts of different players' game in the league, I like to pick the minds of my coaches as well, and see what they see.
I love that, man. I love that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now we mentioned you get a lot of notoriety and everything. How have your interviews been going with teams, and who are some teams to be? And feel free to not release this information. So you don't have to, but I'll
Right,
ask
right.
anyway. I don't
Yeah,
want to
I'm
get
gonna
you in
say
trouble. But what teams are like, hey, put my hat in here. I would really want to get to know you, not just a handshake and a quick talk. Like, what are some teams
right.
that are really, really, really interested in you so far?
My agent and I actually, like you said, we decided to not disclose any of this type of information, just for,
Okay, I got you.
just for signing purposes and everything, that how this process goes. But
Yeah,
I could just tell you, just at Pro Day, we had the Patriots, the Jaguars, the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Colts.
yeah.
We had a few more teams on top of that.
That's dope, man. No, that's
Yeah, so
good.
just a lot of teams. Yeah, so
That's good. Hey, he
that
told me
part's been
it was
going
a
well.
potential 30 visits. I was like, wow, that's like it.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, we got a few of
Yeah,
those set up as well. I can't let you know the teams, but we got a few of those set up as well.
that's dope, man. Wherever you go, man, I'm rocking with you, whether it's the Dolphins or
Yes,
not. I'm,
sir.
I'm,
I
I'm rocking with
appreciate you. Yes, sir.
you.
Hey, the
Yes.
Dolphins, we love the Dolphins. Got the tax free, got chilling in Miami. It'll be a nice time.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Hmm.
It's a good place to be for sure, man. That's dope, man. Man, what's something you want NFL teams to know about you that they may not know already? You know what I mean? They'll I think you have a few interviews out now. They see the tape, they see the accolades. Like, man, you are a guy should have played at a really big school. You played at a smaller school, but you shine like like you were at an Alabama. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
did your
Hmm.
thing, man. You have a great size as well, too, man. But what's something you want them to know about you personally they may not know already?
Yes, sir. I would just say, ultimately for NFL teams, I just want them to know that um, probably the best thing that I bring to their team is my ability to play multiple positions on the field.
Yeah,
Throughout my tape, you'll see me at corner most of the time, but I spent a lot of time with my defensive coordinator studying the safety position, studying the nickel position, which I played nickel a few times as well this season, and did a good job. So I just feel like I'm very versatile, and that's what I bring. That's the best part of my game that I bring. On top of that, I would just say that, like we mentioned, I wasn't getting tried a lot
mhm.
throughout my entire career. So I just want them to know that I feel like my ball skills are one of the best. So I have the ability to showcase that soon as well.
Yes, sir, man. And,
Yes,
and with
sir.
those
Yes,
ball
sir.
skills, man, do you have any nicknames, man, that we may not know of? Is it ball hawk, man? What do they call you, man?
Man, so really, most of my teammates just call me Suave. That's kind of like my nickname. I got it tatted right here.
Okay.
That's what my teammates like to call me. Yeah. So
That's dope, man. That's dope, man. What's in the headphones on game day, man?
on game day, so it kind of switches up. I kind of got a routine. So leading up, like say we're on the bus headed to the stadium, or a few days before the game, I like to keep it chill. I like to listen to a lot of just vibrations, or like R&B, soul
Mhm.
music. But
Yeah.
once we kind of come back to the locker room after we warmed up, I like to listen to G Herbo, NBA YoungBoy, or
Okay.
a few of my friends. They rap as well, so I listen to their music as well.
That's dope, man. That's
Yes,
dope. I like
sir. Yes,
asking that
sir.
question, man, to see. It's different every time, man. It's so that's
Right,
cool.
right. You know, everybody got their own preference for sure.
Exactly,
Yeah.
man. And then my last question today, man. Once your name is called, man, no matter what day you're selected on, or UDFA, or somewhere in between there, man. Once your name is called, man, what are some of your goals year one in the NFL?
Yes, sir. I would just say year one in the NFL. Obviously, my first goal is to make that 53-man roster. After
Yeah,
I make that 53-man roster, I just want to do whatever it takes to help my team win, whether that's special teams or on defense. And obviously, just for me personally, I would like to be a starter first year. I would like to be all rookie.
yeah.
I want to get those same accolades that I got in college and establish who I am right off the bat.
Definitely, man. I love it, man.
Yes,
I'm
sir. Yes,
excited for
sir.
you, dude. You're hungry, dude. You got the tape to back it up. You great personality, man. Dude,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
I
Appreciate
see
you.
why so many
Likewise.
teams want you, bro. I see why you can't release the list, man. I see it, man. I see it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for coming on the show here today, man. Ladies and gentlemen, comment below. Let us know how this interview took and made you feel. Also, go in the description of this video. I'm going to have his Twitter. I'm going to have his Instagram. Follow the story, man. Get inspired, man. Look, man, there's people every single year in this draft. You know, last year it was like Puka Nacua. Like, what? You know, he wasn't even a first-round pick, but he should have been.
Right.
He should have been a top 5 pick, you know. So people come from big schools who shine all the time, man. And Rico, man, I'm excited for you, man, for real, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you
Definitely.
for having me.
Any shout outs before you go, man?
Just shout out Pitt State. Thank you, God, for everything that you've done for me. Shout out to my agent, Kristen Addison. Shout out to RoPro Fitness for getting me right for my pro day. And just thank you for everybody who's been by my side on this long journey.
Love it, man. Love it.
Yes,
Ladies
sir.
and gentlemen, Rico Payton III, man. See you guys next time. Thank you for watching another episode of The Touchdown with Doug Smith, where we have exclusive NFL content and exclusive NFL interviews. Be sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. Follow us on social media. See you on the next one.